Hello and welcome to helpyourmath.com. In this video, we're going to look a little bit more into stocks and reading a stock table. Let's get started. So here's a stock table. It's a snippet of companies from June 15th, 2018. And what we're going to do first is we're going to talk about what all of the things at the top, what all of those headings mean. So stock prices change every day, every weekday, every holiday, non-holiday weekday. And the values are given online. You can find them on your smartphone. You can find them in newspapers. The given table shows just a small sample of some of the stocks. So what do these symbols mean? Well, YTD percent change is the year-to-date percentage change from January 1st of that year. So since that excerpt was taken from 2018, the YTD percent change would be from January 1st, 2018 to June 15th, 2018. The 52-week high is the highest price a share has been worth in the past 52 weeks, and a 52-week low is the lowest price a share has been worth in the past 52 weeks. Why do you think those values might be important to somebody? Well, perhaps if you're looking for something consistent, you don't want too much fluctuation between the high and the low, or if you want to play it risky, you might see something that has a big high and a low low and try to buy when it's low and hope that it goes back to the big high. The stock in the sim is the stock name and its trading symbol. DIV is the dividend. That's the money paid by a company to the owners of the shares of the stock. Some companies do not provide dividends, and they do this for a variety of reasons. One, if the stock is doing well, they want the growth to continue, so they don't want to be distributing money amongst people. And secondly, investors get taxed on dividends as it qualifies as income, and it can be a pretty high tax rate. So it can be as high as 35%. So some people don't want to buy into companies that offer dividends because they're going to get taxed much more on the dividends than on the money they make otherwise. YLD percent is the current yield on the company's stock. It's the percent the dividend is of the share price. PE is the price to earnings ratio. It's the current price per share divided by the annual earnings per share. Okay, a few more. VOL is the volume of shares of stock that were sold that day. Usually, sometimes you'll see it expressed in hundreds, in which case you would have to take that number and multiply it by 100. But on the table provided, it's given with the already being multiplied by 100. And close is the price of the last trade before the market closed for that day for that particular stock. This is the net change from the previous day to the current day in the stock's value. So usually this doesn't fluctuate by more than, $2 or $3 unless there's some crazy thing going on. And there's one more that's not on here, and it's the percent the percent change from the previous day. So we'll see that as well. Okay, so we're going to just read the stock table a little bit. The first one we're asked to find is the highest price for the last 52 weeks for John Deere. Do you remember what we're looking for here? Here we're going to be looking for 52-week high. Here's the Deere company, and here's where it intersects with the 52-week high. So I see we have a value of $175.26. So we have $175.26. Okay, next we want to find the dividend for Chevron. So we're going to go here. We're going to find Chevron. There's Chevron in the table. There's the annual dividend. So it looks like their payout per share is $4.48. You'll notice that that's very high. That's very unusual that they would be paying so well. $4.48. Okay, next we're going to look for the number of shares of stock sold this day by Facebook. Okay, so we're looking for Facebook and we're looking for the number of shares sold. Go through all these. There's Facebook. There's the volume. That's the number sold. So it looks like 21,851,000. 21,851,000 shares were sold on that day. And last but not least, we want to find the cost for 200 shares of Walt Disney stock purchased at the closing price for the day. Let's go through all this. Okay, Walt Disney is all the way down there. And at close, the last sale was for $108.85. $108.85. How does that seem? Reasonable? Okay, so let's get past all this. Now it's your turn. Either write these down and pause the video and go to the slide with the values on it, or go to the slide, print this out, and try these on your own and see how you do. Okay, so we're looking for the closing price of CarMax. The closing price of CarMax. So I see CarMax is right here and the closing price is up here. So what was the closing price? $72.39. So here we have $72.39. How about the change from the previous day for Harley Davidson? Change from the previous day. So Harley Davidson is down here and we want the change from the previous day. Oh, sorry, right here. I found it, don't worry. That change is right there. And there it is, it's $1.74. So again, this is just from the previous day. So these numbers shouldn't be too outrageous. And if you look at this column, they're really not. The worst was Caterpillar. Oops, that's the construction company. But we're looking at 174. And this was a profit. So what we might want to do is indicate that it was a profit by putting a plus sign in front of it. Normally with positives we don't, but because this is something that is so specific, it's really important that we indicate this was a plus. This was a good change. Okay, what was the 52-week low for Pearson ADS? So let's find Pearson. Here's Pearson down here. And we're looking for their 52-week low, which would be this column here, and that would be $7.62. So the lowest they got down to was $7.62. Okay, how about the year-to-date percentage change for Yum Brands? The year-to-date, so here's Yum Brands. We want the year-to-date percent change. And what do we see? 1.24%. It's green, which indicates that it's a plus. So we might, even though they don't have a plus, you can see they have the negatives when it's red. We might want to say that this was a plus. I already forgot what it was. Sorry, 124 plus 1.24%. So very slight change. Again, if you're looking for something conservative, this would be something you might want to consider because it's not super aggressive, but it is going up. And last but not least, sales for the day for General Mills. So General Mills is right here. And we want sales for the day, and that would be that volume. So that's going to be this. Uh-oh, I did Hewlett Packard by mistake. We want General Mills, which would be up here. Don't look at this one. That one's Hewlett Packard. That's not what I asked for. And we have 12,354,000. 12,354,000 would be the volume or the sales for the day, the number of shares that were sold that day. These have been examples of reading a stock table. Thank you for stopping by.